And what is up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice, and this is going to be a Legend of Korra, Book 4, Thoughts and Predictions. Something a little different. Joining me is my co-host tonight, and
Hey guys, how's it going? Make a gamer man. Yeah, woohoo! That core tomorrow, man. That core is
I'm
coming tomorrow.
I'm so pumped. I watched that trailer like at least 8 times now.
Dude, I watched it 50 times yesterday, and then 150 times today. So it's like, God damn, I just cannot wait.
It's
Just
so
everything, just
epic
everything in the
looking.
trailer. Yeah, everything in the trailer just looks so epic. It's just like they're all fighting in the. I just want it. Mm.
But before we get into that, I want to also kind of throw this out there for people that may be watching this on the replay. If you didn't watch season 3 or book 3 of Korra and maybe you gave up after the first or second one, I know some people that have. I thought maybe we could. I let you games go. Maybe give a kind of a reason why people should have hung in there and what you thought of book 3 and how it stands um, in the series. Compare it to the last Airbender. Because I know there were some people that saw that first season of Korra and just was like, I'm done. They
Yeah.
didn't like it. So why don't you go ahead and just give them kind of a rundown of why they should have stuck with it, why they should watch book 3 and be excited for book 4.
All right, so basically, everybody, I know it's like for all you that watched season one and basically gave up. Now, I understand, all right, I get it because it didn't feel like Avatar: Last Airbender, where they were traveling and they were going to different areas and having all these crazy adventures and all this stuff. But the thing is, season one wanted to focus basically on Republic City because that's basically a new city within the series. So there we just basically had it where we had to focus on this city. Now the next one, which is season two, now that one focuses where they actually go somewhere else, than Republic City, and they really try to bring in different stuff that were
Focused on like the spirit world.
yeah, they were trying to bring in different stuff like spirits and like they were trying to focus really hard on that because season one really didn't like bring in spirits at all. It was just like, oh hey, I'm a mon, woohoo, you know.
Hmm.
So basically in book two, we hear about, and yes, you guys were warned about spoilers. The thing is, we heard about the first Avatar. We heard about how Vatu and Rava, whatever. But I'll go by Rava.
It's Rava.
Um, yeah. Okay, because I don't know. He says it like Grava, Rava. I don't know. But basically, it focuses on those two. Basically, they're the light and the darkness of the world. And the way that the Avatar began was basically, Juan was just a regular guy, and of course he started out as a firebender, because that's basically the lion turtle that he was in. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail about the whole thing.
But let's just
Um,
say that those were the highlights of book
yeah,
2. Was that those 2 episodes that showed the original Avatar for sure?
yeah, it really showed, what happened, how this all started with the cycle, and then from season two onward, basically did things that were just like, oh god, dang it, not Aang. I'm just gonna say that. Um, Now season three.
And then this, I want to say, if anyone's watching this and is hung in, watch 1 and 2, books 1 and 2, and maybe they're on the fence about book 3. We're gonna go into real spoiler territory right now, and
Yeah.
so I just recommend watching it first of all. Stop watching this. Go to nick.com. You can watch all of book 3. It'll take you a couple hours, and it's awesome. So anyway, we'll go into book 3 a little bit.
All right. Now, okay. Now this was the best season that they've
By
had,
far, by far.
by far, because the fact of they have so much mature themes and so many, like, the villain is like not a villain but he is at the same time, like it's just that kind of thing that is just like, god damn, you would never expect this in this kind of show. So we had the villain Zahir, which there's basically this organization that took place after the Great 100-Year War, which was called the Red Lotus. and the Red Lotus's job and basically their goal was to get the Avatar, which was going to be the next one, because of course they couldn't go against Aang because Aang would have whooped them all. So they had to wait until the next Avatar came, when she was just a kid and a baby, where they can take her and basically, and guess what? This is actually like when she's a baby and a child, like kill her. They were gonna do that because what they wanted to do was end the Avatar cycle, so that way the Avatar will cease to exist, because they believe that in order to maintain full-on peace, you need to cause chaos, which is actually kind of true. I cannot deny that. That is actually true. I mean, how many world wars have we had? How many wars have we had in general? And then look at what happened afterwards, right? We got somewhat of peace. So I understand what the villain does, but at the same time, there's just like this sense of, he does things with airbending, and this focuses a lot of on airbenders.
Yeah,
And
because
yeah.
did you point out that people randomly were gaining the ability to
Yeah,
airbend?
I was gonna get that.
Okay.
Yes, people were getting ran after Korra opened up the spirit portals and everything was connected. Basically, a few people around the world got the basically got the talent of airbending, so they were able to airbend out of nowhere. Even some of them were actually most of them actually are non-benders, and they got they got the airbending from the spirit portals. So now they're starting again without Tenzin was basically happy because he's just like oh my god, more airbenders, this is great, we can rebuild the nation basically.
And this is
So
where I thought it got good, is where they were going to go recruit and find the airbenders, and that the show became more of a traveling experience like the
yeah,
original series, which is
definitely.
what I liked.
That was the greatest thing, and that's why if you guys are like, oh, where's the traveling, where's the, well, here it is, because they literally are going across everywhere on the Earth Kingdom. Then they go to this new place, the Metal Clan, and then they go to they keep going around the Earth Kingdom basically, and you also experience all the villains. Bolin, oh my God, he gets the best spotlight in this season
Well,
ever.
let's go over the villains and their kind of the new
Yeah.
abilities they showed. Well, Zahir, obviously he wasn't a bender and he got airbending and he just became an immediate badass.
Yeah. Which
And
I don't
then
understand at
that was a
first.
little bit weird,
That
but
question, but I just want to I just want to say something. How dangerous was he as a non-airbender, as a non-bender, to be locked up like that?
hmm
That's just my thing, because I just
And,
want to know that,
and he
because
was
he wasn't an
very
airbender.
intelligent, very in tuned with nature and like
Yeah.
meditating. So, and then his girlfriend was a Sparky Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Her name
That
was
was her.
Kali, and she could do the fire bending out of her mind, which was cool to have that brought back. And then Gazan was actually an earthbender who could turn earth into lava, which was new and exciting and actually unexpected. And
Yeah.
then there was Minghua, who had no arms, but she was a waterbender and used water to make her arms so she could attack. So that was the four like main villains. They were all they were not like evil people. They just believed in a different type of world, and then they thought they were going to do whatever it took to create it. So, which was
Yeah.
interesting that they weren't just pure evil people.
And the thing is, this, Korra, I like how they're doing this because it's showing how bending is evolving. Because in Last Airbender, we never saw people use bending like this. We never saw people use this kind of unique style. Like season 3 brought lava bending, also bending with no arms. That was
hmm
a real surprise. I don't know how she does that. It's really crazy. But also we learned that the secret ability, because how each and every element has their secret ability, right? Fire,
hmm
lightning, freaking Earth basically has like, it's basically that avatar of Earth,
hmm
um, and freaking water is basically ice, blood, and all that. Well, air is basically their secret technique, and I was thinking gravity or something, but apparently. At first, when Zahir did this, I thought he was just like, I thought he was walking on air, right? Because the thing is, he was on clouds, right?
hmm
So basically, and then when he started to to float away. I'm just like, what the frick? Yeah, so
Oh, the Superman.
yeah, I'm just like, when did Superman take over you? Like, god dang, you know? And basically, that at that point, the basically secret bending skill for airbenders is basically flying. So, but the only way you can enter flying is by getting rid of all your connections from the earth, which is basically any of your loved ones and everything, and you have to enter the void. That's the only way you can be in like basically floating and be like with the true basically airbending masteries basically.
Hmm.
And what was his name? Guru
Guru.
Lahima, right?
Yeah, Lahima.
Lahima, basically he was the first one to ever do this because he had no ties, he had nothing. He's just like he was basically that one guru that was, basically like any other guru where he's just calm, peaceful, and has nothing but just himself and just went with like any other of the nomads and stuff. So it was really interesting to see that a new turning point for the Airbenders.
Hmm.
And it was really interesting also of what airbenders can also do. Zahir really did that. I'm just like, bro, you just got airbending. What the
Well, we got to that part, but I'm gonna catch up a few high points I thought
Yeah.
leading up to where we're at right now. That was seeing Bossing say again was really
Yes.
cool. The Earth Queen was actually killed by Zahir, and I think that's the last episode that was actually on Nickelodeon on TV. And then after that,
Yeah,
there
it was too mature, man. It was too mature to be on there.
yeah, it was very mature. But that leads the Earth Queen being dead kind of leads to book 4. But then we met Lin's sister, Suyin or Sue
Yeah.
they called her, at the Metal Bending Clan, which was cool. Found out Toph is still alive, which is awesome. She's my favorite character.
And it was
Um,
hinted at the trailer.
I know. But that was basically the highlights up to that point. Then they met that kid Kai, who kind of reminds me of Aang early on when
Yeah,
he's an
right?
airbender.
Hmm.
Bit of a troublemaker. We saw Zuko, old Zuko.
Yep.
Not voiced by Donnie Bosco, though, or I think that's his name.
It would be so weird if he had his whole voice.
I know, but why couldn't he just do an old person voice?
It's just like, I wish I was young.
But so that was the coolest moment for me before the final fight was when Tenzin and Zahir fought, and Tenzin was the first time Zahir faced a Airbender master, and Tenzin schooled him a bit. I mean, I was
Yeah.
glad that they didn't have Zahir just kick his ass. Tenzin was beating him.
No, because the thing is, you are versing, okay, an airbending master. He even said it himself. It's a pleasure to, even meet airbending master. Because the
Because
thing
Zahir
is,
was very respectful too of
yeah,
the airbending culture and stuff.
he was very respectful. And, during that fight, I was just like, yo, Tenzin, man, you are going in. He's just like doing. He even did the move that was in the intro. What Aang did, that whole like bend over with one leg and
Yeah.
from both sides. I love that, man. That was beautiful.
Tenzin was kicking his ass, but the rest of the group had to step in.
Freaking piece of cheap garbage, man. They were just like, oh my god, it's too much for me. My friends, help me. Give me your power. Like, what is this? Like, come on, man. It's a one-on-one. You think you're so awesome with air? Well, let's go. Like, So
Tenzin was the first person to actually put up a good fight against Zahir. It was
yeah.
ridiculous.
Definitely.
And then there was a whole plot where the Airbending Nation was at risk. They were kind of had them hostage, and then Korra and Lin and Mako and Bolin, they all kind of came with a plan to rescue them. And Korra was in platinum chains, and then it turns out that they betrayed them and they didn't have the Airbenders. They weren't turning them over. So Korra was like a badass in those chains too. If you notice that. She was like, hands and feet were both chained up, and she still put up an awesome fight, which was really cool. But another very mature moment that they obviously cut out the scene where Pali was doing her mind bending, and Sue put that metal
Yo,
plate around her face,
yo,
and
that
all of
was
a sudden it
alright.
just cut away. I didn't know what happened.
I'm telling you, I just wish this wasn't with Nick. I wish this was like with Adult Swim
Yep.
or Toonami or just its own thing. And just like an anime, they would release their own episodes out there. I wish it was like that because to have something like that on Nick is like wow. This is not meant for kids anymore. And
I had a feeling that they actually animated part of it too, and it was just like a weird
yeah,
cut
yeah.
to Zahir's face. So I have a feeling they actually had that animated to some extent. What had
Because the thing
happened?
is, I would like it. Now, this is what I would like is if they made it where if the DVD version you get to see everything. I would
Hmm.
love that because the thing is they do that with anime too. They don't show the gory stuff on TV. So what they do is they cover it up and then when they're ready to release it on DVD, they show everything. So I'm hoping they do that because yo, that part if that basically shows in Avatar in general, I mean, this is really the most maturest like season ever for the fact of or in Avatar history because
Hmm.
the old Avatar Last Airbender was basically it was supposed to be like a little bit kiddie and stuff like that. But it's all this stuff of like he actually has to kill and all this, but he refused not to, and because it's a nomad thing. I understand. But it's really just I hope like soon enough that they get away from Nick and then like they reanimate these into like more mature
I hope.
kind of a
I
way. I
hope
hope.
somebody buys the license and
Yeah.
like Cartoon Network, Sci-Fi Channel. I don't care. Netflix and Hulu are also good candidates because
Yeah.
they buy series. We'll get to our thoughts on the future of the series after we go over the book four trailer. But another thing, I guess we can get onto the finale, which of book
Oh my
three.
god.
Korra got captured. She's chained up. They feed her this metallic like poison, or they put it into her
I think that
skin.
was I honestly think that's mercury.
Yeah, that's
Um
probably.
because the thing is there's no other I don't think there's any other liquid metal like that
Hmm.
except for mercury because actually mercury does that when it like it can if you touch it on your hands you can go crazy.
Yeah, will poison
um
you.
yeah, it's basically poison whenever you touch it. It's a touchable poison, and it's like if you put it on your legs and like something you can actually get paralyzed. It can cause blindness, all this stuff. So I would say it is mercury, or it could be some kind of weird kind of element over there in their universe.
Yeah, but that's a
But
good. Mercury's a good guess. I mean, that's
yeah,
pretty well educated guess. So basically, they try to get her in the Avatar state so that they can kill her in the Avatar state and end the Avatar cycle. And Zahir even calls her the last Avatar, which was had quite impactful to think of that.
yeah,
And then it tied into the last Airbender, the name anyway. So then it kind of backfires. She goes in the Avatar state and just goes, you
yeah.
know, she just breaks out and he's running for his life. We had Mako and Bolin taking on the waterbender, Minghua and Gazan the lava bender. They had an epic battle. Then and Korra and Zahir had this epic. It reminded me of this book three finale of the Last
Yeah,
Airbender.
right. Everybody was doing their own thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they were like flying like he was flying like Aang was, and then Korra was almost like Fire Lord. Was it Ozai? I believe was.
yeah,
Um,
basically.
he was using the firebending to fly, so it was very reminiscent of that. Maybe they were hoping to capture that feeling again, and it worked because that was epic. And
And
the
but just one question. Okay, so you know how lightning, right, takes focus in order to bend it, right?
yeah,
The thing is, Mako, okay, he just pointed his finger up and just, psh,
I
like
have that written down that Mako finally lightning bend to get
well, he
them.
finally did it. But the thing is, the way he did it questions is the fact that he just went like, pew, he's just like he just did it because usually
Well,
you need to do like this whole technique,
well, he
right?
was in the first book he was working a factory where he's just shooting lightning constantly to create power. So I think they've evolved to the point where just like metal
They
bending,
can
it
just
was a
like
standard. But why did he wait so long to use it? That was one of my
yeah, I
only
don't get
gripes.
that. he could have used that during, their first encounter. And it's just like she's water, dude. She has water as her arms. All you gotta do, okay, this is what you gotta do. Just hit the water, because if you know science, water don't like electricity, okay? So just
yeah,
say
he finally beat Minghua, and then Bolin actually learned how to lava bend somehow with his
it was
life.
a cool fight. Now that was a
Yeah,
cool fight, because
and
I
they
think,
had an epic battle.
yeah, he's just like, he's just like, what's his name again?
Bolin.
I forgot. No, who's fighting again? I always forget their names because they're just like side characters. Um, Mingwan? No, not Mingwan. That was the girl. Um, the other lava bender. You know who I'm talking about? Uh oh, he cut out.
I'm back.
Oh, you just cut out for a sec.
I don't know what happened. It booted me.
It's okay. It's still up.
Oh, good. I thought it
But
ended. I was like, fuck.
don't worry, guys. It's still on. But who is the other lava bender with
There was
Bolin?
Gazan and
Yeah,
Bolin.
Kazan. So basically, that was an epic fight. Kazan was just like, all right, let's fight, and then like Bolin's just like, pew, he's just blocking that lava, launching that lava, and then Kazan's just like, oh, so that's how you got out. All right, let's go. Let's see what you got. Like at first, I thought he would, befriend Kazan, and because he was doing that in the truck.
Yeah.
And I thought he would befriend him and actually, get some lessons from him, like how it actually works. But instead, they were in a dire situation, and Bolin was just like, you know what? Let me try this. So he did it, and he's just basically a lava bender now. So but that fight in general, epic, just epic.
It wasn't on this epic level.
Yeah, it wasn't really like
three
anything, but
when
like,
you had
epic is epic.
when you had Katara and Zuko taking on Azula. That was in book 3 of Avatar: Last Airbender. That was, in my mind, just unbelievable. And this wasn't quite to that level, but it was close.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens, just to wrap this up before we break down this book 4 preview. So Korra, with the help of the airbending kids, they kind of create like a tornado, and they defeat Zahir, but Korra's left in really bad shape. We find out at the end of that episode that she's actually in a wheelchair. Then you had Gazan actually killed himself by like just creating all this lava, and it collapsed the whole mountain on him. I think Zahir's the only one left alive. We don't know about the Minghua, if she died with that lightning or if she's still alive. But and then it ended with a ceremony with Jinora getting promoted to Airbender Master, and Jinora's Tenzin's oldest daughter, and she actually shaved her head and looked just like Aang.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
That was a little weird, but and then Korra just definitely seemed to be depressed, and she really wasn't handling it well. So, it's like that's kind of where they left it off, and as Sami was trying to make her feel better and stuff. So it left. The big thing was obviously Korra being crippled and stuff, but then they mentioned that the Earth Kingdom was left in disarray because the Queen was dead, and it was like they said chaos or anarchy or something. So that kind of set it up. And then the one thing that didn't really know what it meant at the time was when Korra's dad was rescued by a metal bender who was the captain of the metal bending. I don't know if it was army at the time or just like a security force. And her name.
No, it was just the Metal Clan, basically.
Yeah, it was like from the Metal Clan, and her name was Kuvira. And there was just this weird moment where she's just like introduces herself, and I was like, is there gonna be like a love triangle going on? Like I didn't know what the hell was going on, but she's a captain. He called her captain, so she has some kind of rank. And so that's how book 3 ended. So it was an awesome season. Some people were saying it was as good as any season of The Last Airbender. I would say it was equal to maybe book 2 of The Last Airbender, for me personally. But overall, it was awesome. So if anyone watched this and hadn't seen book 3 and you heard all the spoilers, still go watch it because
Yeah.
it's really
It
good.
is better to see it animated, trust me.
Yeah, I mean, and the animation of Korra versus the Last Airbender is like the it's widescreen, it's HD, it looks amazing. The
Hmm.
art, the people they have animating that's the best animation I've ever seen. It's hand drawn for the most part. There is some computer CG created things, but just the series as a whole, I mean, it's like a painting. Every scene is amazing. So, um, just wanted to throw that in there. Definitely get it on Blu-ray. That's what I got it. I was sick of watching it on Nick.com. Seeing it on a nice big HD TV, it looks amazing. So now we got the book 4, which is called Balance. Book 3 was
Yeah.
Change, and we got a trailer. So I have some highlights written down. I'm afraid to like put the trailer on screen and have Nickelodeon flag the damn thing. So
Yeah, don't.
so
I
basically,
wish. Actually, wait, can we? It's like if we if we pause it here and there. I mean,
I'm
it
not gonna
doesn't.
risk it.
Yeah,
It's
just
my
alright, fine then.
it's my channel, so
Yeah, just don't do it.
so basically, the book 3 trailer or book 4 trailer starts off like the first 30 seconds shows like Korra like flashbacks of her getting fighting, and then she's a crippled. Or I hate to say that word. She appears to have lost ability to move her legs. But I don't know what other word to say, so I'm sorry if I offend anyone by saying cripple. I don't know the proper term, but then it's
Disabled?
disabled. Yeah, we just say disabled.
Yeah, I think disabled. Yeah.
Then it goes to 3 years later, which is very interesting. The first scene after that, they show Korra cutting her hair with like a spear with a blade.
Unless it wasn't like, I'm glad enough it wasn't like Azula where it's like, prepare to meet your doom, Harry.
Yeah. Oh, I love Azula. She's so awesome. I wish we knew what happened to her.
Yeah.
And then it shows the title, Book 4 Balance. And then we see, which is a really cool scene, you see Kai, and I'm pretty sure it's Janora, because later on you see her, and you can see the arrow tattoo. They're in like wingsuits, and they're like flying like freaking superheroes.
Yeah, it's like squirrel suits actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And later on, there's a little sneak preview on Nick.com that shows that scene extended. But then they show the first shot of Kuvira. She's like metal bending and shooting something at somebody. And then there's like some montage of Korra fighting in front of looks like an army of Earth Kingdom people. And then they show like 2 giant robots like Rock'em Sock'em, like punching each other, and it's like, holy shit. Then we see a glimpse of a swamp where a bison's getting like grabbed by vines, reminiscent of season 2 of The Last Airbender. Then they show like the Earth Kingdom army, like they're all in green with the Earth symbol, and there's just thousands of mechs and people, and it looks like Kuvira is actually the leader. She's standing out in front of them. And then we see like some action shots. It's back in Republic City. Looks like there's the spirit area with all the vines and stuff is there, and then they show Asami on top of a train doing like a roundhouse and then shocking somebody. It's just epic. And then it like cuts to Iki, Janora, and Milu or Milo, whatever. I think it's Milu. They're in their flying suits, and it's like a really cool shot. And then they show the spirit portal in the north or south water tribe, and they show Korra in the spirit world, and then we see there's like the Earth Nation. They're like celebrating something, and then Janora, I think she's like spirit. She could transfer her body, kind of like spirit herself. It looks like she's in the middle of this mob and like puts her head down like something terrible just happened. And then there's a shot of Katara healing Korra, which I think is going to be misleading. We'll get to our predictions and thoughts in a little bit. Then there's like Korra's like fighting in like green. She's like in the Earth Kingdom outfit, and it looks like she's like fighting in this big circle surrounded by like, it looks like Cobra Commanders from G.I. Joe. They got these weird masks on.
I didn't know they transferred it to like some freakish universe.
Then they show a shot of the desert, and then you see Kuvira in the desert, and the really interesting thing, if you may have not caught it, if you didn't watch it more than a few times, is they show Varric for a split
Yeah.
second, and they show his assistant Julie climbing into a mech suit, and she looks all like evil. And she actually reminded me of Asami's dad, like when she had the round glasses on, and she
Yeah.
just it was just weird to see
I don't
that.
know, but I'm telling you, Julie's best assistant. Like she really
She's
is.
awesome.
She's awesome, dude. I mean, if she's actually helping like Korra and stuff, like actually fight, and she's actually doing crazy stuff with that mech suit, yo, I'm sorry, Julie best assistant, man.
You know, Varric's gonna be in that mech suit with her though, because they're never apart. That
Yeah.
dude's hilarious too. He was the highlight of season 2 for me. Other than the beginnings episodes with the original Avatar, and then they kind of reveal like Korra's new ensemble, her new waterbending outfit with her new haircut, and then we get the big tease at the end.
Yeah.
Toph.
Tough, man, tough.
I love Toph.
I I'm just so happy at least that we're gonna be able to see her.
I
Now I'm
hope
gonna be.
she's better than old Zuko, though. I hope she's got a little bit more of
I mean,
Toph's personality.
she was young. I
She was the
mean,
youngest.
yeah. So it's like I don't think it would be that old. But yeah, it's really just oh my god. I just can't believe they're finally gonna show her because in book three they basically said or Sue said or no it was what's his face, Mr. Lie, um I forgot freaking, but he said like she was on a spiritual journey,
Hmm.
and which was weird because she's not like that. she's It was kind of weird. I was just like spiritual journey, what the heck? I didn't know.
Yeah.
But glad to see that she was like in a cave. So I'm really surprised, that basically she was, living if she was traveling with like with Aang and stuff, because they were like living in, caves and like stuff like that. So I'm really surprised that I just want to know what happened to her, like what's going on. Probably
Hmm.
she didn't want to get like attached to everything and didn't want to go with everything,
I
So
know she had kids and stuff, so it's really
yeah.
interesting to find out what happened. So I'm gonna let's just go through a little bit of analysis and predictions here
Yeah.
with the whole 3 years later thing, because if you watch the little 40-second preview that they just put up, they show Korra with her long hair, and they show Jinora with her freshly shaved head. And Korra's getting on a boat going to the Southern Water Tribe, and says that she'll be back in 3 weeks. So, how do you think that works out with the whole 3 years later that they're pushing for book 4? Do you think Korra's gone that whole time? Do you think that it takes her that long to heal and recover, or what's your prediction for that?
I think what she's gonna do after is like after she's done healed, and everything. She's gonna, of course, do the whole hair of doom, and go on like some kind of journey. I don't know. Probably she's gonna like try to heal her, own like kind of thoughts and feelings, like her, her head, because she still has. I think through that trailer, because we saw like a ghost little image from that guy just walking, and
Hmm.
we saw that Korra that was like going crazy at the end of book three. So I think she's still like traumatized. There's a word
Hmm.
of what happened. So probably she's in this journey like trying to go around and you know um, try to teach herself of some things, trying to find out what's actually gonna, and she's gonna actually find out what's gonna be going on with the Metal Clan and all that. Of course, she's gonna get involved, and but it's just mainly I think she's just gonna try to heal herself and go
Yeah.
by going on this like big huge journey around the world, because she was like, I think she in the preview also she was in that like that kind of place where it's like where Toph was in the the earthbending ring.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
There's a shot of that. Looks like an
yeah,
arena of some sort. That's an interesting thing. The one thing they show Katara healing Korra, she's in like a pool of water, and then there's a shot of Korra heading to one of the portals in a blizzard at probably the Southern Water Tribe, and then they show her repeatedly in the spirit realm. But every time they show her in the spirit world, except for the very end, she's in that green earthbending outfit with like the white wrap around her forearms. So I don't know, I think they're trying to mislead us there, but I'm thinking she maybe Katara heals her physically, like you were saying, her spirit, she's traumatized and goes to the spirit realm maybe to help um, trying to get back to being who she is, because she's just like at the end of book 3, she's just not herself. She's like devastated. She's like traumatized, and I think maybe the spirit realm might help that.
Yeah. And she's
And
like really deciding, I think it's really a moment of because, season one, Amon said, we don't need the Avatar anymore.
hmm
Season two, Unalox basically said, there's no need for,
they
the
wanted the
Avatar
dark
anymore.
avatar, is what he
Yeah,
wanted.
he wanted basically a dark Avatar. He wanted, a different kind of thing. So, the Avatar, in general would, he said, you're no longer needed. And then, season three, even Zahir also said that you're not needed either.
hmm
So, and even Vatu, because she had that kind of moment where she was like thinking about stuff in the end of season three. So here it's gonna be like she's actually gonna find that the world still needs the Avatar. So yeah, it's nice to have like the Airbenders do something, but it's like the world still needs her in order to she still needs to be there in order to um, make sure that everything's nice and balanced to the world basically.
hmm
So
And I
I
think it's
don't.
an interesting and a little bit risky for an animated series to do 3 years later because then they have to make
Yeah.
everybody look older. And I want to get to a point. Tessa's been commenting. She thought it was Opal flying with Kai, and she thought it was Opal in that mob with the Earth King. But if you watch closely and pause a couple scenes in that trailer, um, Janora has long hair, and she's flying in that wingsuit. You can see her hair blows back, and you can see the arrow tattoo on her forehead. So I
Yeah.
actually think Janora looks older. Janora kind of looks like Opal because I made it might be Opal in the very beginning with her and Kai, but the other shots are definitely Janora. And they had to age all the kids and age everybody, which was kind of a ballsy thing to do in an animated series because it's hard to recognize people, if you change them up too much. So
And
that's
one thing we actually forgot, and I kind of remember this, is that we also saw Zuko's daughter, which is basically the new Fire Lord.
yeah. I didn't catch that. I
You didn't
didn't.
catch that?
Mm-mm.
She was the one when you saw Tenzin, um, I forgot Korra's father and Zuko, and that woman there with the glasses is his daughter.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah,
watching it right now.
yeah. That's basically his daughter. That's
They're like
basically the new
sitting in
Fire Lord.
some kind of like council meeting. It looked like. Is
Yeah,
that the scene? Okay.
because I
How'd you
think
figure that?
I know it's the Fire Lord because she has the fire thing that goes on the hair.
Mm-hmm.
She basically has that. So basically, in the only way you can have that is if you're a prince or a Fire Lord. So you know that's
Yeah, that's a good
basically
point. And I'm watching that first shot in the air suits. That is Opal because the hair is blown back and there's no
yeah.
you don't see the tattoo, but I'm guessing they're all pretty close because they were all part of the new air nomads. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. Do you think that because they show Korra with Asami, Bolin, and Mako in Republic City in like a car, do you think how long do you think it's going to be before Korra is reunited with them and they're in Republic City? You think that's going to take a few episodes, or you think that's going to be from the start?
I think that would take a few, because I think for this one they want to make it where it's like everybody's doing their own thing
Mm-hmm.
for a while, and then basically the new basically villain is gonna come and try to take over. She's basically gonna do it like if it was like Fire Lord Ozai, I guess, because that's where it's basically leading to, where she's doing like some kind of revolution kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's actually where I think they're gonna be doing their own things, and then like when Republic City is being like attacked and stuff, they're gonna meet again, because that's basically what I'm seeing mostly in the trailer is when we see Korra Earthbend for a little bit. That something's going on in Republic City, so probably she was there, and now everybody's basically meeting up again, so they can fight together.
Yeah,
So.
it seems like Korra's going to spend a lot of time in the Earth Nation or Earth Kingdom with that
Yeah.
green outfit, and then when they show her with Bolin and Mako, she's in her blue, her new like water bending outfit. So I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be at least 2 or 3 episodes, maybe even half the season before she's reunited
Yeah.
with them. So let's talk about because Tessa was right, that was Opal in that scene with the mob. So we forgot to mention at the end of book 3, Tenzin said that the air nomads would become the Avatar in her absence while she's recovering. They were going to kind of work to restore peace and balance on
Yeah.
their own. So, um, so it looks like they're tasked at almost being like superheroes, almost kind of like they make it look at their fight, stopping a robbery in that little sneak peek, and it must be. I'm thinking that they're trying their best, but when they come up against the army that Kuvira has, that maybe they're in over their heads, and that's maybe when Korra gets involved, or maybe they don't even know that's Korra.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
I think they will know that she's Korra. It's just, I mean, they all have different looks basically. Mako looks more like a freaking what
businessman
19
almost.
yeah, basically 1930s businessman. So, and Asami actually looks really different. I actually thought for a second that was somebody like just for a second, but then it got onto me. Bolin basically looks the same, which I'm actually glad because I don't want to be that even though his dad was basically when he was older he looked basically just like Bolin, but I'm glad they kept Bolin's look. But everybody else, I mean, I think they're gonna find Korra and actually yeah not mix her up with anybody. I mean, there's gonna be that moment where it's just like, oh, Korra, is that you? And they're gonna
Yeah.
do that thing. But it's just I don't think they're really gonna like forget about her and stuff like that. So something like that. And just to say for Grayson, Korasami, dude, at this point, I'd give it a 50-50.
Yeah, they've gone pretty mature, so you never know.
Just saying, they might do that 50-50, man. I'm gonna give you my thought on that.
I know Tessa would like to see that because I think she's not opposed to a little woman on woman action. So I mean, I can't say I would be mad if they did that, but they're not going to on this show. But that's a funny thought. So speaking of relationships, since that is Opal and Kai that are kind of teamed up with the wingsuits on, the squirrel suits. I'm wondering if Janora had to give up because she's now airbending master and a nomad. I wonder if she had to give up her. She was kind of crushing on Kai, and they kind of had a little young romance. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have any kind of drama involved with that, or if it's just
I'm just gonna say this. I don't like the new hairstyle. I like the old one because
yeah.
it was like that kind of short-haired, basically covering everything. I actually like that hairstyle, and
Hmm.
now it's like, yeah, she's bald and the forehead, but it's just like, I no, I think they still can, because how would the other air nomads, start? So they had to have some girls, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have
So
to.
yeah, because there was a woman avatar that was an airbender.
Hmm.
So and probably she had kids, and so I think it's still possible. It's just like you could be. It doesn't. I think doesn't matter what gender, right? It's just you can just go for it, right? Basically. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's much. I don't think it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
hope
that
they
much.
don't do that because that was
Yeah.
the weakest part of book 1. I thought was the crappy romance stuff. That was kind
Yeah,
of
I'm. You know what? I just gotta say, screw Mako. Just
yeah.
screw it.
He's a douche.
He's just like, oh, I'm gonna go here. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna go to her. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna go to her. Now I understand season 2. She had a little period moment, but it's like, Mako, you just, god dang, just don't, please. This is why I'm going 50-50 on Korosami. Okay, so it's just at that point, it's like whatever. But between between them two, it's like I think they're still gonna go. So either even though Janora's a airbending master, so yeah, I can still see it happening.
Yeah. So let's get away from the romance a little bit. We'll come back to it. Because there's always who's going to end up with who, because that's kind of how the last Airbender kind of ended, and it was kind of interesting. Um, so that whole thing we kind of mentioned with Varric and his assistant Julie, they were getting in a mech suit, and they showed the mech suit in the Earth Kingdom like possession in a lot of shots. So I wonder if maybe they side up, and they always like to throw Varric and kind of make him a villain, even though I don't want him to be. Do you think they'll be fighting for the right side, or you think they'll be going to where who they think's going to win, which would probably be the army of the Earth Kingdom, which they look so dominant in the trailer. So
I mean, I would say Varric is still good for the fact that what he did in book 2 wasn't really siding with Unalaq. He actually wanted to destroy the North forces, right? He didn't like Unalaq, so I can understand. He wasn't really bad. It's just he did it in the wrong way. He tried to bring justice in the wrong way. So here I honestly think now that the Metal Clan they're gonna get Sato. Because who else makes mechs? Sato, right? They're gonna probably break him out of prison and make him do all this stuff. They're gonna probably tell him about their plan, about what they plan to do, blah blah blah. He's gonna be like, oh yes, I'm interested, woohoo, that kind of weird looks. So you could see another like probably Asami versus her father again, but I honestly think it would be Sato making those mechs for them, or it could be, or it could be where they got the details and the blueprints on these mechs, and actually made them themselves. So it can either happen either way. So yeah, I would go with that. I mean, Varric, I believe he's still good. It's just he was always good. It's just he did it in a wrong way. That's basically it.
yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Maybe either Varric might break out Sato, or maybe he takes over his company and he's trying to build an army to fight the Earth Kingdom army.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a couple questions that I have. We got a lot of questions to maybe get to. So, do you think we'll see the Fire Nation, the actual like land this time, like finally sees the Fire Nation in Legend of Korra?
I would say yes, for the fact that the trailer did show her. So I think it's going to be more than just the Earth Kingdom. It's going to be the Fire Nation also, because they showed her at a volcanic area, which basically, from this point, it's like only volcanoes exist in the Fire Nation. So, it's like I know it's kind of weird. It's just like what the frick, volcanoes are like everywhere. So, but yeah, she was basically at this fiery hot place, the Fire Nation, not the Fire Nation, by like this big huge volcano. There was lava everywhere. So I think that's the Fire Nation. We are gonna see something, because remember we saw Zuko's daughter, which was basically the new Fire Lord. We did see the new Fire Lord in the trailer. So, yeah. I honestly think we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it.
Yeah, I hope so, because it just seems kind of weird. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it in book 2 when she washed up on shore, but that wasn't much. And then let's see, I was trying to watch that to see Zuko's daughter, but I just can't. Let's just kind of speculate on Toph's role. Do you think?
Okay.
Do you think that Korra's gonna find her early on in the show, or do you think they're gonna drag that out?
Huh. I think it's gonna be a little bit later. It's not gonna be like an instant. So I can see her when I would say this, when she's going at the spirit vines, not the spirit vines because that's a Republic City, like the forest. She's gonna find Toph, because she was actually wearing the same outfit. She was wearing everything else, and Toph, I think she would not go to the Fire Nation. I don't think she would go to the North Pole either. She's basically Earth. So she would stay somewhere at the Earth Kingdom or around the Earth Nation, and I think she's at like where the vines are, where all the forest is.
That's a good
So
because I was just watching. There is a lot of scenes in some kind of swamp. They show
and
Korra in
remember,
some like white
and
goo.
the hint is because when they did that slow motion thing on her face close to the end of the trailer with a bruise on her eye, and then
Mm-hmm.
she showed up again with a bruise on her eye at the end.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
Unless she gets a bruise and then like heals in a day and then gets another bruise. I mean, I don't know, but that's basically leading to that point. I would say because she's basically bruises take some time to heal. Even though if you're the Avatar, I mean it's just a bruise and nothing like
Mm-hmm.
the Avatar state only heals things that are like fatal. So I would say that the bruise it would still be there, and later on within that point she finds Toph. That's probably I'm gonna bet you we're not gonna see Toph for that episode where she's like, Toph?
That's how it's gonna end.
Yeah, watch them do that. I mean, it's gonna make me happy and mad at the same time because it's gonna be like, what the frick? I want to see Toph. Come on.
Because yeah, I'm
But,
looking at it right now, and Korra's definitely in her that greenish
yeah.
outfit. It looks brown with the light, but it's all raggedy. She's got the bruised eye. Her hair's all messy. So I'm guessing for some reason Korra decides to go on this journey, probably through that swamp. I mean, then they show someone walking along that volcano, like you said. For all we know, that's part of it too. And just her journey to find Toph. I wonder what the reasoning for her searching out Toph is. Maybe that's because it's the last connection to Aang,
Yeah.
Zuko. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see maybe because they're showing a lot of that swamp footage. I'm thinking that's going to be one of probably the second episode, maybe third
I think
episode.
I think it would be fourth, fifth,
What was
around
the
there.
fourth episode called? They had that leak, and it was in the background of that trailer. They had the name of the fourth episode. Let me find that.
Inter-
Let's see. It was like in the fourth. Here we go. Exclusive pre. No, I need the next one. It's like four. Book four is coming. I think is where that's at. But
Well, while you're
so
searching for that, Grayson, I just read your question of do you think this will be the final season? Yes, this is the final season within the whole Avatar universe. That's it.
it,
After this, that no more.
at least on Nickelodeon. If
No,
you
it's
don't-
like after this. I mean, I hope it gets licensed somewhere else, but the creator said basically we're done with Avatar after this.
that sucks
Yeah,
because
they,
they
they
got
said
that.
that.
They
I,
could
I
fill in what
yeah,
happened.
I understand.
Aang and them getting older, and before Korra, building Republic City, building the new world after the 100-Year War would
You know what'd be
be.
great? You know what'd be great is if
Oh, the book or the chapter four is called The Calling of the
the
new
calling.
season. Yeah.
Okay. So it's yes, this is gonna be the final season, the final the final this is gonna be the final. That's it. No
Hmm.
more Avatar after this. I mean, I know I was upset, really upset because I was just like, God dang it. But it's I understand.
You
Just
gotta end it at
yeah,
some
they
point.
have to end it at some point. They can't keep milking this.
The only thing they could do is do some kind of animated movie to fills in between Last Airbender and
Not a
Korra.
live action.
No, hell no.
Animated, please.
So, and the interesting thing is, I don't know, I'm sure everyone listening or watching this knows, but book one of Korra was supposed to just be a miniseries, and that was it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be just one season of that. That's it.
Mhm.
That's all it was supposed to be. But people were like liking it so much where they wanted more, and
Yeah.
that's why they made season 2, 3, and 4. That's why Nickelodeon signed on those, and there you go. Here we are at 4, and that's basically it. So they really weren't hoping to go on. But I'm glad that they did this at the same point because it actually answered a lots of questions that wasn't answered in the original Last
Yeah, that
Airbender.
was. The original Last Airbender left a lot of questions, which not many of them got answered. But the first season, or first book of Korra, didn't really touch upon the whole universe. They just kind of stuck in Republic City.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna read off. Tessa's had a question on the Google Plus page. What are your feelings on the long wait between season 1 and 2? What do you think about the almost non-existent gap between 3 and 4? And we just season 1 and 2 gap was so big because they weren't planning on season 2, so it got a
Yeah.
late start. Once they okayed it, it takes over a year from start to finish to make one episode. So that's why we had that big gap, and the fact that they were working on seasons 3 and 4 while seasons 2 was airing because of that year delay. And because the show got pulled off Nickelodeon and it was a web series, I think they felt they better just get it out sooner before it's kind of. If they waited too long
Yeah.
just to have it on the web, I think it would have gotten a little bit
No,
forgotten.
but I actually understand why they put it on the web. To answer this is because it actually where when you watch something, people watching TV are actually TV is actually dying out. People are more like watching things on the internet. So it's just like that's basically where I get all my episodes actually.
Hmm.
Because I don't want all the advertisement, all the all the stuff, and because it's just like come on, right? You just want to see the episode that you came here to see.
Yeah, the ads are only about 15 seconds, and there's only
Yeah.
about 3 of them. But
But it's just I understand why they put it here because actually they did get a lot of more viewership once they put it online.
mhm.
They actually did. Because people watching it on TV, TV right now is actually starting to fade because of the fact that the internet basically is taking care of everything. So putting it online is actually really good for the fact that also they're posting the episodes instead of waiting at 8 o'clock. They're posting them at like 12 in the morning, or
Yeah,
not
when's
12
that
in the
gonna
morning.
go live? The first tomorrow? Do you know?
Tomorrow, I would say it's gonna go live. Probably they're gonna do it around 12 p.m. That's the rumor I heard.
Let me look
But
right now.
if not, you can always check their website and yeah, you can check right now.
Yeah,
But
it's not saying when it's gonna be
uh,
available.
all right, so I would say around 12, or it's just gonna be 8 o'clock where they're gonna post it at night. So.
Because I will be turning off Smash to watch this as
Yeah,
soon as
I'm sorry. I'm
possible.
turning off Smash. I'm turning off Smash. I'm playing it right. I've been playing it all day today, but I'm sorry. I'm turning it off. I have to watch these two. I have to be focused. Nobody's bothering me. Okay, just saying.
So let's try to get through these questions a little
Yeah.
bit quicker.
Let's try to get there.
Grayson wants to know thoughts on Mako being named after Iroh's old voice actor. Um, I just want to say that was sad because the original voice actor for Iroh was awesome, and the new guy just
Yeah.
didn't have the same. But why give him the douchiest character? Why name I mean, they gave the worst character the name Mako, which kind of sad in my opinion. They should have had a better character to be called Mako,
Yeah.
because they made Mako such a kind of a pathetic kind of character. So
I
what?
didn't like him. He was too like. I just don't like Mako for the fact that he's like, oh, I'm Mr. Cool. It's just like that's the reason why I hate him. It's just he's too like, oh, look at me, I can do this, I can do that. Like nobody cares, dude. I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of bad. Iroh, dude, Iroh best character in this whole freaking series. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, he is Super Saiyan level 49, 1,000. Okay, he's almost there to 5,000, 50,000. So understand, Iroh is a beast. Okay, he did not. I'm just gonna say that he did not. Okay, accept death. He was like cheated. He cheated death. He's just like, my work here is done. I'm going to the spirit world.
Mhm.
He's just like, death, go somewhere else. Like that's how boss he is. Just saying.
Yeah, and then he works out in prison like he was acting
Oh
like an
my
old man, and he's doing all these push-ups and pull-ups, and then he just busts out like the dragon of
Like
the
the guy was like,
East.
he's a monster.
What
I
was
don't
he?
know what I saw.
Was he the dragon of the West or the East?
No, I think it's the West.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Iroh's just the boss either way. So, but Mako, I'm sorry, he's just like he's at a lower tier than freaking. I'm sorry, but what's his name? The little airbending kid. I always forget his name.
Kai?
No, not Kai.
Oh.
Milo.
Oh yeah, Milo.
Sorry, but you rank. Let's say Mako, you're like 50 below Milo. Let's just say that. Milo is actually funny,
Yeah,
but
Milo's cool. It's just a shame that they
yeah,
named Mako. They use that character to honor the Mako, the voice actor. Just real quick, Tess had a comment. She said, Hiroshi Sato's voice actor confirmed he did more work, and he wasn't in books 2 or 3, so that pretty much guarantees he'll be in book 4, unless he did somebody else's voice. But
yeah.
I think he'll be in book
Sometimes
4.
they do that. Sometimes they do it where it's like somebody from the show actually do someone else's voice within the show, which you can actually notice for some characters.
Hmm.
But it's
Yeah.
like yeah, they don't usually do that a lot. But I could see where Sato's gonna come back.
The guy D. Bradley Baker who does all the animal sounds, he did, in the original series, he did um, Appa and the damn can't think of the monkey thing, the flying llama,
Appa and Momo.
Momo.
There we go.
So anyway, Grayson Young, why do you think people hated season 2 so much? Thought it was good, then it really picked up towards the end. Well, if you rewatch the first 4 episodes of season 2, it's teen drama, it's romance
Yeah.
drama, it's father-daughter drama. I think that's why a lot of people they remember that, even though it ended pretty well,
Yeah.
and the whole beginnings double episode was the highlight of Korra so far for me. Those were just really well done. I wish they would have just made Wan's story the next series. Like that was so good.
Yeah, it's just like that I could understand where people got really dragged on, like the drama and that. Plus, it kind of dragged on from that point, from the first and all the way to like the fifth. It
Mm-hmm.
really dragged on because it was just them fighting over and over and over and over and over and over
And
and
then
over
Korra
about like
fell for
yeah.
Tarlock, or Unalak was just like the Tarlock character, and she fell for it again, and it was kind of
Yeah.
annoying.
It was like, come on, dude. Are you gonna believe? I actually saw this meme where freaking Tenzin's just like, are you just gonna leave me behind after every single waterbending person you basically trust betrays you? Like, it's true
Yeah.
because she did it again.
Korra's character suffered in the first 2 books. She was,
Yeah.
especially book 2, she was a very weak character. Some poor writing on her behalf. Tessa thinks that Mako. She says y'all need to stop this Mako hate shit. Like now, you suckers just don't even know what you're talking about. Mako's a douchebag. He kisses Korra when he's with Asami, and he has those
Yeah, and the
cheesy
thing is,
lines when he's in the police force. He's like,
he did it.
"Yeah, tell him Mako sent you."
No, 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 no. Please, no, 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 no. The thing is, he comes up with bad lines, pickup lines. Okay, he
Bad advice.
he
for his
basically
brother.
kisses another girl when he's already dating another girl. Which I'm like kind of after that I thought Asami was gonna like join her father.
She should
And
have. Should
yeah,
have kicked his
right.
ass because she's a badass. She's probably the most skilled martial artist out of the whole group.
Yeah,
I love
and
Asami.
and it's just I was just like, dang, Asami, you took that well. I'm liking you. You took that well. I was glad. And the whole way through with even Korra was just like let's just stop whatever, and he's just like, oh, what? And basically he's just like Bolin. I bet you Bolin was just like you got dumped. Like
What about when Bolin cried when he found out that they?
oh, I love that. I love that part. I like Bolin as a character because he's that guy that he's just funny all around. He
Mhm.
really is just like, even when there's a sad moment like that, he's just like, he basically just went away like crying like, like,
I am not Tuck.
I'm not Tuck, right?
Hero of the South. Couple comments here. Where'd they go? I scrolled down. Tessa said that Piley's death was pretty damn brutal, even with the implied violence. So she's right, but I have a feeling just the way it was edited, like cut, jump to it, when like the metal plate was going towards her head, all of a sudden it cut to Zahir. I think they might have animated something more.
Yeah, that's just
But
I hopefully The DVD version
Blu-ray
actually
has like an
shows.
unrated version somewhere hidden in it.
Yeah, because the thing is, honestly, it should be like that because, most shows that go on DVD that can't show that kind of content on TV, they usually do that where, they cut it out on TV and they put it on DVD. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping that they do that because the thing is, I would like to see Zahir's true reaction because I don't think. All right, listen, I don't think because there he was like a little bit calm, okay,
Hmm.
but I would say in the unrated version, he would go nuts. Okay, he would go nuts for a second, and then of course enter the void, like he did. Because the thing is, remember that that's someone he loved. So, and she died in the most brutal way ever. So it's like, hopefully they do that in the DVD version because I need that.
I
That's something that needs to be.
I just want to say that I have book 3 pre-ordered. It comes out on like December 3rd, I think.
Nice.
So I have that Blu-ray pre-ordered. Yeah, I definitely think it'd be nice. I was even telling my friend today, I was like, it'd be nice if they had like an unrated version on Blu-ray. But let's get to another question. Blue Dog 5454, Andrew. He says, "Who's your favorite villain in the Korra series?" And that's interesting because, like we're talking about, he's definitely the villain or antagonist, but he's not your typical evil person. So
Yeah, he really isn't.
he was almost annoying because he was so knowledgeable and he was so likable that you didn't want him to be the villain.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is with Zahir, he's probably one of my favorite, kind of anti-villain kind of thing, because, well, all right, but basically he's counted as a villain, so we're gonna go with that. He's basically
Hmm.
my favorite for the fact that he really isn't, because he makes sense when he says this stuff. In order to
Hmm.
create peace, you need chaos, and that's true. Because if you look in the real world, that's what happened. We had all these wars, and the thing is, he made sense every single way. I don't know who came up with the characters Zahir. I don't know which one of the characters. I mean, one of the makers.
Hmm. The
But
writers.
that whoever wrote Zahir's character, yo, I congratulate you. Okay, you just did the best ever. You basically,
Yeah.
because you made sense with it. The guy actually had a clear goal, and we didn't see that typical like, oh, I'm gonna take over the world. No, we
Yeah, like
saw
Sonobak.
where, yeah, we saw where this guy actually wants peace, but he's doing it in a way that really not everybody is agreeable with.
Hmm. It's
You know?
almost like Amon, actually. He wanted peace too through taking Benning away. Like,
Yeah.
he had a plan, and he would have been a great villain, except he turned out such a puss at the end. Like, and they found out when they had that whole, like, oh, here's who he is episode where they just filled everything in. That just felt like a cop out, and I lost. Amon just lost everything that made him cool at that point. Let's kind of plug through these questions a little bit.
Yeah.
Blue Dog did say Mako was a lot better in season 3, and I agree with that. They definitely had. He did a lot better. His character was written a lot better.
Finally, lightning bended.
Um, Tessa just got compared to Toph. I couldn't be more flattered. Who compared you to Toph? Because I don't think did we? I don't think we did we?
No.
I didn't think so. Somebody must have. Let's go over. I'm going to go back over the Google page. What do you think of Korra's haircut and her hair? What do you think of her new hairstyle, her new look?
I like it. The thing is, I like girls with short hair. Just
And it's not short hair; it's shorter. It's still like chin length.
yeah. But I basically like girls with short hair. And
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because I mean, look at what happened at Bayonetta.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know what's going on with everybody putting like all the girls that had long hair with short hair all of a sudden.
Mhm.
I don't know what's going on. Well, it's a new trend.
I think Korra, like, her character design is great, but definitely the shorter hair is even better. Like, she looks a lot better, I think, with the shorter hair. I think we already covered what we thought of the 3-year time skip. I think we kind of covered that one.
Yeah.
Covered that one. Oh, there's one that I asked you off air from Tessa. Do you think Kuviro will be the main villain, or maybe are they trying to mislead us and she's going to be a distraction for maybe something bigger or more like a surprise villain or something throughout the season. So what do you think about that?
Um, I think she's gonna be, you know, she's gonna be. Hmm. I honestly think she's gonna be a good villain.
Yeah, you think she's going to be the only villain, or you think there's going to be somebody else pop up?
Uh, that's the kind of the difficult thing that we. I mean, if I had to make a guess, I mean, I would like it. Um, because it would be like she actually was following orders for somebody, but that kind of went by. You know how basically you have that kind of relationship where like two people work together that are evil, and then one betrays the other one
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, I don't need you anymore. I mean, I would like to see something like that, but I think if I were to make the perfect prediction, I would say no, and she's actually just the villain, just herself, because it really looks like she's taking over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because she looks like that kind of general type, and I'm actually liking it because of the fact that she's looking like every time she fights, she looks like, especially that time when she was like getting ready to fight and she had that little smirk. I feel like she like loves to fight and wants to really just like she thinks she's gonna win all the time because
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
but
it looks like they kept promoting that the Earth Kingdom's in chaos. So I think like she's trying to seize control. She probably gets the army. She must do something to almost like a dictator leadership, or does something to like take over and somehow gets the army behind her. So that's going to be interesting. But I think she's going to be the main villain. But I wouldn't think it's out of the realm of possibility that maybe there's some other bigger secretive villain. Maybe it's going to be a surprise tied to the last Airbender or something that maybe is pulling the strings in the back,
mhm.
behind her. Maybe she's going to be related to somebody or has her motivations won't be clear. But I think she'll probably end up being the main villain. And I think I gotta say her character model. It's a good to have a female villain. I think that mixes it up and her design. She's like a really attractive, like for an animated character.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting because is she gonna be such a bitch that you hate her, or is she gonna be like Zahir where you kind of like her and you kind of see her side? That's gonna be interesting which way they go there. Um, oh, I see where Grayson Young said he asked a question. I see where I thought I opened that up. Where'd it go? He said, "Who do you see yourself like?" Because he said that Grayson feels like he's Aang, more like Aang, and Tessa's more like Toph. So that's where that came from.
Okay.
So which Avatar character do you think you're most like?
Hmm.
I gotta say, not physically, but just goofiness and stuff, and like outside of you Google and stuff. Bolin's I'm kind of like goofy, not like dumb like he is, but I'm like a mix between Mako and Bolin, like more serious and than Bolin, but more goofy than Mako. So maybe somewhere in between. I wish I could say Sokka because
Yeah.
he's awesome, but I'm not that cool. Sokka's Sokka, Toph, and Iroh they're definitely my favorites from the original. All right, now I gotta get back to the questions here.
Hmm. I would say
Yeah, who do you think you're most like?
that's a tough one. I would say I'm more like I would be
The cabbages guy?
no, no.
Boomy? I think you're most like Boomy, the original.
I
King
would
Boomy.
say yeah, because the way he is just like he's serious and he's goofy at the same time. So I could see that. Um, but I would say like I would be, and this would be kind of a gender swap. Yes, I know, Tessa. You basically have Top, but Top, dude, I love Top, and she basically has that thing. It's just like, the whole manly things.
Toph is just,
I
she's
love
just the
it.
coolest.
I
No,
love it.
she has a little bit of emotional moments, but for the most part, she's just that sarcastic, tough character. And actually, thinking about it now, I'm gonna say book one, Zuko, like that. That's just kind of how I feel. As he's not the most likable, and people don't understand him. And I think I've gotten that in my life. People don't understand my sense of humor and stuff. So that's my answer.
Alright.
Let's move on here. I had a good question, and then God dang, I just closed it out again. I keep doing that. It was up. All right, who would you like to see come back from the original series in this, in the final book? Grayson said he'd like to see more Iroh, but somebody other than somebody we've already seen. Obviously, Toph. I mean, come on. We know Sokka's dead,
Soccer.
and I don't know who's young enough. Azula. I'd like to see what happened to Azula, but she's probably. I'm guessing she's dead too. So there's not too many chances other than Toph. I can't think of anyone else we could possibly see.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way. Okay, listen. There's no way Boomy's back. There's no way that Waterbending Master's back.
What about Osaka's girlfriend at the end of that? What was her name? Suki.
Well, I can say that his first girlfriend that turned into the freaking moon is still alive.
What about
But
that baby that was born on that dangerous pass when they were crossing that like dragons pass over that lake, and they had like that water monster, that
oh,
little baby. That
oh,
that that baby would probably be about 50, 45, 50 years old.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
I would
let's get
say
on.
that.
Tessa says no, she's tough. You can't. You can have Mako.
No, never.
Oh.
Heck no. Freaking Mako.
What about the? This is a good question. It's a little deep, but do you think that the Air Nomad's new creed is to act in the image of the Avatar will maybe make Korra even feel like she's not needed even more? I kind of rearranged that question, but that's basically because they're out doing her job for her. I wonder if they're gonna play that up in this book 4.
Uh, I mean, they could, but
Why
it's
are you
like
whispering?
no, because this place. If you guys are hearing an echo, yeah, I kind of know that you guys are hearing an echo, but that's why I'm trying to.
Are you in like an apartment or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let me see. All right, fine. I'll talk
I've
right
never
now.
heard you so subdued.
Let me see. I'll talk. I'll try to talk up. Um, so freaking destroy the.
Remember the question?
Yeah, I don't remember the question. I kind of lost my train of thought.
Do you think that they'll play up how Korra maybe she's feeling even
Oh,
more worthless because the air nomads are doing her job for her?
no, I don't think so because the thing is, I don't think because Tenzin basically just wants to help Korra. Basically Tenzin and Korra are basically like family. So I really don't see, where Tenzin's gonna be like, we're gonna take your job now. Because this ain't South Park. We took your job. This ain't South Park like that. So I honestly think it's just so Tenzin basically made this decision because he really just wants to help out Korra because he knows what Korra's been through, that whole thing with Zahir. So I honestly think that's where it's coming to, and that's why Tenzin did it. So yeah, it's really more like that
All
than
right.
anything else.
And this is like the last legitimate question we have. And we've been going almost an hour and a half, so that's probably fine.
Yeah.
Do you feel the Daily sucked? And he's talking about in book 3. In book 3, compared to the Red Lotus, because he felt they were really strong in season 2 of The Last Airbender, but they got destroyed so easily.
All right, I'm gonna say this, okay? Yo, the Daily are a joke. Okay.
They were, I think they were a little bit more like forced into like their skills back in the last Airbender. Like they were almost like slaves.
Yeah, they didn't really.
Like,
I felt like the Daily really didn't evolve. They
mhm.
really didn't do anything different. They're just like, the same as they always were. They never did anything, better that they can do with their techniques. They still have the whole bullet thing. I like that because I'm just like, dang, they're shooting bullets.
Mhm.
But I honestly think when it came up to that point, I think what's his name? Uh, that was in
Kazan?
prison. No, remember in season 2, the head
Oh,
of the Dali,
yep. I don't remember
right?
his name.
Yeah, and he was in the prison, and they always said that we are always loyal to you, right?
Hmm.
And basically,
They
I
like
think
brainwashed him.
yeah, not brainwashed him. He more like brainwashed the
Yeah,
the
he was
queen.
brainwashing people, and I think the Daily were a little more dedicated and afraid of him
Yeah,
compared to the new.
and no, the Daily actually were joining him. They were actually liking what he's doing, and they were all with him all the way. And that's why I'm coming to this where it's like the Daily actually manipulated the Earth Queen to basically hate the Avatar and
Hmm.
all this stuff because they basically lied to her, being like, "Oh, your father was just a traitor or something like that," because the father was actually nice,
Hmm.
right? So
That's a good point. Forgot about
yeah,
that.
so I would say that she was more like told things when she was growing up, and that's how she became
And
this.
she ate the bear.
Yeah, she ate the freaking bear. Why did you eat Bosco?
She deserved to die. I mean, I'm just gonna say that.
You know what? I agree with you. She deserved it because you ate Bosco. Bosco? Come on, dude. He was a great bear. Freaking
And
But
that's right. They were brainwashing the servants and stuff, not the Daily members. They were just kind of afraid, and they were behind the leader because he was such a like dominant alpha male.
yeah,
I think the Daily was just a
and
little bit more diabolical back then than they were in the newest book three.
and the thing is with the Daily now, with this new one, they're just right now. I think they're all gone because or they're all done with their jobs because of what happened in Ba Say. But when we first went into the Earth Kingdom, the Daily are really weak. I
Hmm.
mean, I thought when Daily would be able to move around like ninjas and all this stuff, like when because Korra, I'm just like so. Korra is right basically about to attack you, which takes about a few seconds, which gives you it gives you good time to launch one of your rock bullets. They're actually faster than her spinning up and then hitting you with air.
Hmm.
So why are you just standing there?
Yeah.
It's really just the Daily really are just like garbage now. They are outclassed because the thing is they don't even know metal bending, dude. Like that's a bad thing. Like you got all these earthbenders that know metal bending. Here they're just earthbending. That's it. So like the Daily were so good, but now they just suck. So that's basically how it goes now. That's why they're so easy to defeat because it's just like, oh, blow a piece of air at them or do that, and that's it. Basically it.
Yeah. Tessa made a point about what we're talking about with Korra. She says with depression, even kind gestures can seem harmful. So even though Tenzin meant well, maybe um, maybe Korra didn't take it that way
Oh
because
yeah,
she definitely looked depressed. I think I meant to say that word and I couldn't. It was just escaping my mind at the time. She definitely looked
yeah.
depressed.
She really, really looked depressed. Like,
Because she couldn't even be happy for Janora,
yeah.
which was really sad.
I mean, I bet she was happy, but
She
the
couldn't.
the thing that Tenzin said and all this stuff, I think she was just crying at that point because she was so confused to the point where it's like she doesn't know, like she feels like that nobody needs her at all.
Hmm.
Like she's not needed. So
She's
basically, the
useless
Avatar,
too. Like she
yeah,
probably feels
basically,
useless.
yeah, basically the Avatar is useless, and no one needs the Avatar anymore. So that's why we saw a tear at the end. But yeah, I mean, that was like a really, really sad moment because it didn't end happy like every other one.
Hmm.
Here it was like it just ended on a point where, it's really depressing. And she just felt so much stuff. Like she went through so much during that season where season 3 where it's like what am I doing here? Am I
Hmm.
even like supposed to be living and being, the one who brings balance to the world? So I can understand that definitely.
Yeah, so I got a few final questions. Some a little more serious than others. So I'm gonna start off with the least serious and most ridiculous one. If you could be turned into a cartoon character and thrown into the last Legend of Korra series as a man, which female character would you most want to try to, become friends with? We'll put it that way.
I would go with yeah. I don't
I'm gonna take a
know.
Sami before you say it.
Well, of course, of course. You take a Sami, but I don't know. Cora's
Rosalina?
must. Rosalina's already. I'm already using her enough in Smash. But I would say if
Because
it
you
was in
got
the
Opal, you got
Opal, I would
Korra.
go with Opal. Actually, I like
Opal's
Opal. Opal's actually a
she's a
really good
sweetheart.
understanding. I just don't like. I was gonna say Korra for a bit, but I just reminded myself that she's actually like a freaking man.
And
At a
she's
point.
very immature in the first three
Yeah.
books. She's not. Maybe in this new one, she's after she goes through her ordeal,
Yeah,
maybe.
I can actually see that she's really mature in this one
Hmm.
because she's doing all this stuff and she's actually looking grown up and actually it feels like she actually has really good knowledge and stuff. So
Hmm. Well, you can't rule out Lynn either. She's a badass. She might be older, but she's a badass. She's like Batman. Like, if you ever watch Sawyer Seven Mage, he does reviews of anime and stuff, and he was calling her instead of Lin Beifong, he was calling her Lin Batman, and it was pretty funny. So that was not a very serious question, but we always talk about we're always fighting over these female cartoon and video game characters. It's ridiculous. That's who we are.
Yep.
I'm not ashamed of it. Next question. This one's pretty more serious. Do you think that they'll end the series with Korra being the last Avatar? Do you think they'll have the Avatar cycle end at the end of this book?
That was a question I was gonna say early, and the thing is, I'm hoping they don't end it like that. I'm hoping that they end it where, Korra, she had her time just like Aang. We went through everything, and, we see a future, right? A futuristic kind of place where, it looks like our modern cities, right? Like New York and stuff like that. Or it could be, even more into the future after like 5 more avatars,
Mm-hmm.
and we can see what really happens in the future with Avatar. Because the thing is, remember, yes, this is the Legend of Korra, but it mainly focuses on the Avatar, which is it's basically Rava. All she does is basically once she's done with that life, she goes on to another one.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to see how the whole world looks like in years to come, because it's just like I really want to see how the new avatars are definitely going to face against these kind of stuff. And also because remember, in the next 10,000 years, I remember freaking
Rava or
Batu's gonna come
Ratu.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, because he's gonna come back. That's how it always goes between them two. Because now instead of him being sealed, again, he's free out there. So now Vatu's gonna come out from Rava, and it's basically gonna start all over again. So the guy that has to be the Avatar in 10,000 years, I kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time, I'm just like, whatever, it's
So do you
okay.
think book 4 will end on a happy note for as far as Korra's
Yeah,
storyline? Think
I
she'll find
mean,
peace and happiness?
yeah, she'll finally, actually be this wise Avatar, and like Aang was basically at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this could also happen another way. I just thought of this, and where she makes it where Rava is just free. She frees Rava, so that way Rava can actually go out and do her own things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Back like it was
So
before.
yeah, basically back like it was before the whole Avatar cycle happened. So I could actually see that happen.
Yeah, I honestly believe they're gonna end it with the Avatar cycle being ended, and I don't think it's gonna be with Korra dying in the Avatar state. I think she's
No.
gonna
She's honestly gonna
villain.
like
They're
she's
gonna part.
yeah, she's honestly gonna make it. I don't know. Probably they're gonna do that because right now, even in season 3, they really didn't focus on Rava and stuff like that. Because the only time Rava actually talked, not counting the cutscenes, because of course that made sense and she had to talk, but she really didn't talk even when she was out of Korra. You
Hmm.
know, all she said is that we have to unite again before the the thing ends. So it's just it really I feel like that might not happen, but it would be nice if it did. So that way it's like Rava didn't die. It's just she's now free and basically protects the light from darkness and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and then maybe they could cut to present day, and it's like without
Yeah.
bending, and there's no more bending and stuff,
Or that could happen where bending is completely gone from the world
and
because
it just turns
Aang.
into the world we know.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll try
because
to do that.
Aang had the ability, he had the energy bending where he takes away people's bending. So I could see something where this time it could be where also, and I just came up with this too, where also it's like the whole world, like she energy bends the whole world or something like that, through the portals and stuff, and gets rid
Takes
of
all
bending.
bending away.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
takes all bending away, and the only I guess the only person that can have it is Korra, or she also takes it away from herself too.
Hmm.
So that could happen too.
That's if that happens, we're gonna be replaying this video and be like, called that shit.
Either we got 3 shots. Trust me, we got 3 shots. Done. So
Grayson made a funny comment when you were trying to pick the female you'd like to befriend in that universe. He's like, "Were you trying to act like Mako because you couldn't pick one?"
no, the thing is, no, I'm not trying to act like Mako for the fact that I'm not going out with a girl and then kissing another girl while I'm going out with that girl. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm picking one, and yeah, I'd rather go with Opal. But
You can't go
yeah,
wrong with
so,
Opal.
yeah,
He's a
kiss me.
sweetheart. One last question. This
Yeah.
is, and do you think that since they've taken this mature, serious like tone, people have died. Do you think that they'll have any of the main characters from Tenzin down to, Mako and Bolin, Asami? Do you think anyone could possibly die in book 4?
Ooh, that all right. I'm gonna say yes, Tenzin, for the fact that he gave away his plot armor, which was being the only airbending master,
Mm-hmm.
and now Janora's one. So bye bye Tenzin.
Yeah, they do show the kids kind of flying, and it was kind of a somber moment
Yeah.
in that trailer. So
And the thing is, did it actually show also not Milo, of course she's still too young, but also what's her face, the other daughter with a tattoo? I have to remember that. Let me see.
Jinora,
I have the trailer playing. Hold on.
who you talking about? There's Iki, there's Jinora, there's
I'm gonna play that again when they're flying.
yeah, because it
Yeah.
kind of looks like they're not exactly laughing or anything. And Andrew says he don't see bending going away. That would make
No,
season 1 pointless. I don't
no,
see how that would make season 1 pointless because
no, they don't have the tattoos yet. But the thing is, she did grow out her hair, and Milo has hair like Aang. Basically, I don't know. I understand. Aang was a nomad,
hmm
but that hair fit him. It
yeah, it
really
looked good
did.
with the hair. I liked him.
He actually really looked good with the hair, so I wish he could have kept the hair. I'm sorry, but if I'm an air nomad, and actually Tenzin said that it is a choice. So I'm keeping
After
my
he
hair.
shaved that dude's head.
But the thing is, remember, at the same time, if you are going to be an airbender your whole life, it actually is better to shave your head for the fact that it did help him also, the guy that got shaved.
hmm
So,
Yeah,
because
because he sensed that
he
in
sensed the
his
wind,
skull.
basically. So, I could see where, shaving your head has benefits. So,
And I'm gonna say I would expect someone to die in the series, in this final series.
yeah.
Tenzin's a pretty good guess. Um, I'm just thinking, looking at the list of names, I don't I don't see Mako or Bolin, but maybe one of those.
Maybe.
But I just think they're gonna have some kind of super sad moment, and then it's gonna end positive. And I do believe that shot with Zuko's daughter, where they're kind of sitting there, it looks like some kind of ceremony. I have a feeling that that's either gonna be. I'm thinking maybe that's gonna be the last episode. Like there's another
You know what would
ceremony
be
or
also
something.
another ending, okay? I
We'll be
have
here all
to
night, people that are still watching.
just one more, just one more. I keep coming up with these things in my head, dude.
You should
Is
write this stuff down.
which is where at the end there, if that is true, where Korra actually died, and the whole thing with the Metal Clan or whatever of her taking over the world actually happened, and the next Avatar will basically have to go through what Aang did,
Hmm.
so I could see that definitely. So I could see that also because it's just like there's so many multiple endings, but we got four now. So either way, we called it. Just but
What is the next cycle in the Avatar? Is it Earth?
this one's water.
Yeah, it's
So it's
Earth.
gonna start.
No, I
It's
mean
gonna,
the next if after Korra, because Korra is the water tribe. So
yeah, it's
it'd
gonna
be
start Earth. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be Earth.
I was just thinking if they had Korra die, maybe the next Avatar they show the baby being born or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, Andrew made a good point. He said that in book one, they were fighting against bending being Amon was taking people's bending away, and they like the whole point of that book was kind of fighting against that and keeping bending, and then so it would
But
kind of make.
remember again where Zahir did the whole thing with chaos, right?
Hmm.
And he was actually right because that is a good point. Here, I could say Amon is actually making a good point for the fact that bending actually corrupts people.
And it actually segregates them.
Yeah, it actually segregates people from being really equal. Because the thing is, if you have a non-bender versus a waterbender, the waterbender is going to win because they have that power of controlling water.
Hmm.
So I could see where that could happen, where Korra takes away the bending around the world because it's like it just would make fair for everybody to not have bending than rather keep the bending in some people or give everybody bending. It can go those ways. So
Hmm. And
yeah.
Tessa says that she's talking to Andrew. She says, "I tell you, these suckers don't even know what they're talking about. Like we're just speculating. We're not.
Yeah,
We're not acting like we're
we're not. Trust me, I'm
right.
not. I'm not hoping. I'm not hoping that. The thing is, I'm not saying that the endings that we just speculated on are really coming true, and we're gonna be 100% right. No, we're just saying. We're just trying to come up with.
throwing out ideas just
Yeah,
to."
we're just throwing out ideas to really make our own. So it's not really we're saying, oh, we're gonna be right. We're gonna be right. No, we're just gonna say we called it. That's it.
We're just gonna say every possible scenario, and then we're gonna say we called it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much it. We
Yeah.
covered quite a bit. Just really excited for this series.
Yeah,
this
dude.
season. I don't know
and
how many
there-
episodes. I haven't heard how
This
many
one,
episodes.
I think it's supposed to be the same 12, or it could be 20, like season 2.
I don't think they'd have it done yet, though. I don't think they could have got all those done, but
No,
I'm
because
hoping
the
it's
thing
at
is
least
they were-
12.
Because the thing is, they were working on season 4 when season 2 was happening.
Yeah, that's true.
So that could really make sense. So yeah, basically.
So
I could say,
hopefully, more the better, I think.
yeah, more the better. That's fine with me. If it's like a 24 episode, just like season 2, heck yeah.
That'd be awesome. So, when do you want to do like a recap of after those air? Do you want to like shoot for this weekend or?
We can do it actually.
Because I don't know, Friday night I'm gonna be playing Smash with
that's
the
right.
crew, so I was like,
So we can do it Saturday.
okay.
So we can do it like Saturdays, stuff like that. So yeah, guys, expect
It's gonna be more of a
reviews.
review. We're not gonna like try to predict. I mean, we might do a little speculation on the
Yeah.
next episode, but we're just basically gonna go over and review the episodes as after they air, and
So
look forward
I
to
know
that.
tomorrow is going to be 2 episodes because they always do that.
They always start
The
with
first
two.
one, yeah.
it seems.
So that's gonna be pretty long, but yeah. So everybody who doesn't was like, oh, I gave up after season one. Watch it. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And especially season four. I mean, you got time. You got time. You can watch it all now. Like
I
if
know.
you start now, you can watch it all.
I think they have 1 through 3 on the Nick.com, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah, they have it. They have it like on anime sites. They have it on cartoon sites. They have it on everything. So you can. It's very easy to find.
and also I want to say that I purchased the soundtrack to book one, and
Nice.
it's amazing. I mean, there's a couple little corny, like jazzy
Yeah.
songs from like the 50s, but it's really amazing. The soundtrack, just the score to each episode, it's an amazing show. Like each episode is, to me, feels better than most like full movies. When you compare like the quality of everything from production value to voice acting and stuff, it's just an amazing series. I'm really looking forward to watching. It's gonna be sad when it's over, but that's what Blu-rays are for, to
Yeah.
watch it over and over. And I've seen The Last Airbender 5 times all the way through, and then I've seen several episodes 6, 7 times. And I'm gonna actually start that series back up once Korra ends.
No, when Korra ends up marathon and everything again. I have to.
It's just so good. And
It's really good.
so anyway, guys, I appreciate the viewers and the questions, except for Tessa and her smart-ass remark. And she says we're speculating wrong with the smiley face, but it's all you can do is take the information we have and try to predict. But we could be way off. Nothing we said could be right, or most of it could be right. You never know.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to it. Can't wait to watch it tomorrow. And we're gonna end this episode, but again, thanks everyone for watching this whole time. Listen to us rambling on for almost 2 hours, and if you're watching us on the replay, look forward to Saturdays. We'll do a review. We'll probably should try to keep them a little shorter.
Yeah, we'll keep them like for each episode. I guess we'll do like just a little bit for each one.
Yeah, like
But
15
yeah.
minutes per episode, and then
And the thing is, I'll make sure to also upload them to mine so that way people that because I actually have some Korra fans too.
yeah, go ahead.
So I'll do that, and I would love if we could start a Korra fan club.
I've already followed them on Twitter. I just started following them on Twitter, but I can't find the creators. Don't have a Twitter. They have Tumblr, which I don't even really know what that is.
Yeah, I don't really use Tumblr. It's just pictures basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. I mean, this is really good. Yeah, I mean, Korra is just amazing. So
I'm more excited for Korra tomorrow than I am for Smash. But if it was the Wii U Smash, I'd be more excited for Smash. But it's 3DS version, still gonna be good. But I'm just super excited, and I just hope it doesn't disappoint, because this is the highest my expectations have been for this series. So I'm really counting on them to at least build upon Book 3, or at least equal it in its quality. So, but with that, we're gonna end this broadcast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on probably Saturday. So,
bye bye.